Hello, my name's Julie Hebert. I'm here to go over the benefits for Arnold Construction Company for the year beginning January 1, 2026. So we're going to briefly go through and talk about all the different kinds of coverage that you have available to you and how to get enrolled on Ease HR. So just want to let you know, first of all, we're going to continue our medical coverage with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Arnold Construction Company is going to pay $184 per month towards your premium. And that amount is already reflected in the pricing in this handout and on Ease. But just want to let you know they do contribute towards the cost of the employee premium. So let's talk about the different plans. There's basically three different plan options. The first two plans, number one and number two, are both in HMO networks. So in these plans, you have to pick a primary care physician. They will direct your care if you need to go to a specialist, and they will keep you in the network. The first plan is in the Blue Premier network, and the second plan is in the Blue Essentials. Plan number three is in a PPO network, meaning that you do not have to have a primary care physician and you can pick and choose who you go to when you want to see a specialist. You don't necessarily have to start with a primary care doctor. It is also using the Blue Choice network, which is the largest network for Blue Cross Blue Shield. On the first two plans, there are no out-of-network benefits. So the only way you can go outside of the Blue Cross Blue Shield, Blue Essentials, or Blue Premier network is if it's an emergency, and then they will try to get you back to the plan that you need to, the place that you need to be as soon as possible, even if it's an emergency and that they might need to transfer you to a different hospital. So those are two big key factors between number one, two, and three. So those network differences are a big difference. The calendar year deductible under plan number one is $6,650. So this is a high deductible plan. So this plan says, you know what? I'm never sick. I don't go to the doctor very often. I just want to have major coverage in case something happens to me. So you would pay everything out of pocket for the first $6,650, and then everything would be covered at 100%. You do have wellness benefits in this plan. So if you want to go get your well visit, get a physical done, all that's included at 100%. But it is a low cost plan and it's a way to give you major medical coverage at a pretty low weekly cost. Plan number two is a traditional copay type plan. So when you need to go to the primary care doctor, it's going to be $40. If you're going to a specialist, it's going to be $80. Urgent care cost is going to be $75. If you have something done like labs, x-rays, outpatient procedures, and those kinds of procedures, you do have a $4,250 deductible. Then you're going to pay at 20%. They're going to pay at 80% till you reach the maximum out of pocket of $8,500. You do have a prescription copay plan on this. So you have $0 for generic, $10 for non-preferred generic, $50 for retail prescription brand name, and then $100 for non-preferred. And then these are specialty medication prescription cost. Plan number three is the Blue Choice PPO plan. So this plan allows you to go to a very, very large network of doctors and hospitals in the Houston area. You do have a $3,500 deductible, 20% coinsurance, and the copays are the same on the specialist visit and the primary care physician, urgent care. The biggest difference is the deductible is a little bit lower, and then you have that difference of having a primary care physician to start your care or not. So you can tell you're paying a little bit more for that privilege and that ability to just go where you want to go. One thing to note is in the past, like last year in 2025, the HMO plan utilized the Blue Advantage HMO network, which is smaller than the Blue Essentials. So this year, if you're on the HMO, the Blue Essentials is a larger network. So that's going to be good news for you. There should be more doctors available to you. Speaking of network, here is how you find the network that you find a doctor in your network. Here's instructions on how to go. And then you want to just make sure you're picking the right network once you get there. Then the preferred pharmacy, make sure that you're using a Walgreens, HEB, Walmart, Albertsons. CVS is not a preferred pharmacy for Blue Cross Blue Shield. Be aware that you can use MD Live services. Here's instructions on how to get signed up for that. So that allows you to talk to a doctor over the phone or like a virtual kind of FaceTime type conversation with them. If you have something minor like maybe pink eye or you wake up and you feel like you have sore throat and maybe you have strep throat, something where they can diagnose it over the phone where you don't have to actually go to a doctor's office. That's a way to do that. We do encourage you to find an urgent care provider. You'll notice up here that the urgent care cost is $75 versus a $500 copay on both of these plans. So it's much cheaper to go to an urgent care if you can, if it's not a life-threatening type emergency. The dental insurance this year is going to be with Mutual of Omaha. So this is a new change for you guys. You will be getting new dental and vision cards in the mail. So look for those. It will be a little bit delayed after the 1st of January before we get these cards out to you, but please be aware they will be coming to your home address. So if you purchase the medical insurance at Arnold, you basically receive the dental and vision for free. And so we have the pricing listed if you purchase the medical and without medical. So you can pick and choose which options you have, but please be aware that when you're paying for this price with the medical, you're also getting the dental and the vision included for yourself. And then you can purchase additional coverage for your family. So the dental insurance, you can go and get your teeth cleaned twice a year at no charge. You can get x-rays done, you can get fluoride treatments, and all of that is free. If while you're there, they say, uh-oh, looks like you have a little cavity, you're going to have a once a year $50 deductible, then you're going to pay they're going to pay 80%, you're going to pay 20%. If it's something like a denture or a crown or an extraction, it's going to be 50-50, and you have $1,000 maximum for the year. So the vision insurance is also through Mutual of Omaha. It uses the iMed network, which is different than what we were with before. We were with VSP. I'm sorry, Standard Vision before. And so now iMed is going to be, I think, a good network for you guys to use. So when you go, you can tell them that you have Mutual of Omaha insurance with iMed. You should receive a card in the mail to your home address. So hopefully this will be easier to use than it was with Lincoln. You can go and get your eyes checked for a $10 copay. Then they'll give you $130 towards frames or contacts. Then you can pay $25 to get new lenses. So every other year you can get new lenses. Every other year you can get new frames. Every year you can get new lenses. Arnold Construction does provide a $25,000 life insurance policy. So even if you don't sign up for anything else, we need your information for that policy. And it is completely free. We just need to know who your beneficiary would be if something were to happen to you. You can also purchase additional group term life insurance for yourself and for your dependents. And so there's some information on that. You can purchase voluntary short-term disability insurance. So if you're not able to work after 8 days of being disabled or sick, they will pay you 70% of your normal pay up to $1,500 per week for 12 weeks. So this is a really nice benefit. If you were, maybe hanging Christmas lights, you fell off a ladder and you couldn't come to work at Arnold Construction, this would help pay your bills for 12 weeks. The voluntary long-term disability is if after that 12 weeks of short-term disability, if you fell off that ladder and you still couldn't come to work, they would replace 60% of your salary up to a maximum of $6,000 per month after 90 days. And they would pay this until you reach Social Security retirement age. So the pricing on both of this is based on your age. So if you're young, it's very inexpensive. You can see that as you enroll in these, what your price will be. Critical illness is a policy that will pay you based on being diagnosed with a list of illnesses, specific illnesses. We'll go through that in just a second in a little bit more detail. There's accident insurance, and we'll talk about that in a little bit more, and hospital indemnity. Please know that this is your open enrollment time. The month of December is your time to enroll. You can pick and choose. So if you want to cover yourself for medical insurance and then maybe your wife picks up your kids at her job, but it's better for you to pick everybody up on your dental or your vision, it's up to you. This is your time to make changes and you can cover your dependents on each different product independently of the other. So you don't have to, it's not an all or nothing process. Ease HR, you should already be receiving emails from Ease HR about how to enroll. Everyone, your password should be standardized as Arnold 2025 with a capital A. You can get in there and make sure your current information, that your address is current, that your beneficiaries are current, and that you've signed up for what you want. If you have any problems or questions, you can contact me at 936-346-2498, and there's my email address. Katie and Mackenzie both know how to reach me as well if you need anything. So here's information on how to get the Blue Cross Blue Shield app. There's a lot of information there you can get online, and they also have an app. So this tells you how to get to that. You can get a digital ID card. You can look at explanation of benefits. You can find a hospital or a doctor. There's some wellness and health resources there that are free to you. Lots of information there on that website. So just real briefly on Mutual of Omaha, there's a little information on the term life, the 25,000, how much you can purchase additionally through them. You can purchase up to $300,000 on yourself and up to 30,000 on your spouse. I'm sorry, that's not right. 30,000 is guaranteed, and you can purchase an additional up to 100,000 on your spouse. So 300,000 to yourself and 100,000 for your spouse. And then you can also cover your kids up to $10,000. Here's the short-term disability information. This tells you about how after 8 days, it'll start paying you. It'll pay you for 12 weeks. And the pricing, again, that'll be there in ease for you is the easiest way to see that. The long-term disability, this will help you if you still can't come back to work after 90 days. It'll pay you till Social Security retirement age. Voluntary dental insurance here gives you some more details about what all is covered on the dental plan and the vision, how all those copays work. This is about the accident insurance. So this is like, say that you fell and you broke a leg and you had to go to the emergency room. They would pay you $300 just for going to the emergency room. And then for something like a broken bone, they're going to pay you based on what kind of injury that is. So this tells you exactly how they're going to pay, say for a fracture up to $9,000. Um, so it's a great benefit. Even if you just go to urgent care, it's $225 reimbursement for an accident, and that urgent care visit only costs you $75 if you're on the health insurance. So you actually just made money by get hurting yourself and going to the urgent care. Here's some information on the critical illness. So this tells you exactly how much they're going to pay if you had a brain tumor, if you had bone marrow cancer, if you had any other kind of invasive cancer, they're going to pay you 100% of the benefit. So as you go through each, you pick the dollar amount of benefit that you want, and based on your age is how much you're going to pay for that. So this gives you the details. It's between 5,000, maximum of 50,000. Um, on the hospital indemnity insurance, this is basically paying you because you have deductibles that you have to meet, you have co-pays. So this is helping cover your out-of-pocket costs. So the first day that you're admitted to the hospital, it's going to pay you $1,000 and then $100 every day thereafter. If you're admitted to the ICU, it's $2,000 on the first day and $200 a day for the days after that. So this tells you a little bit about this. So a lot of information there. One of the important things to know is how to get in touch with me. Here's my phone number and email address. If I can ever be of any help, please always reach out and let me know. Thank you.